Good day, everyone. Today we shall explore some tips on effective writing, focusing on the practicalities of how to write successfully in an online environment. My name is Olivier Brader, and I am pleased to share these insights with you on this 13th of May, 2024. To begin, let us address the primary objective of this presentation. The goal is straightforward: to provide you with the tools and techniques necessary to become a more proficient and impactful writer in your professional and personal projects. Our discussion will be structured into four distinct sections, each offering a collection of tips designed to refine your writing process from initial research to final publication. We shall commence with our first set of recommendations, focusing on the foundational aspects of reader engagement and technical accuracy. Effective writing starts with empathy. You must anticipate and directly answer the questions your visitors have in mind while they are reading your articles. If you address their needs immediately, you establish value and trust. Technical precision is paramount. Utilize built-in spell checkers in platforms like Google Docs and Microsoft Word. For more advanced assistance, websites and plugins such as Grammarly or Language Tool are excellent for ensuring grammatical correctness in English and other languages. In the digital age, we must assume that readers will skim rather than read word for word. Therefore, place your most vital information at the top. Use headings, images, bold text, and bulleted lists to make the content easily digestible for a scanning eye. This approach is often referred to as the inverted pyramid style, a concept frequently used in journalism. I have provided a link to Purdue OWL which details how to structure information so the most crucial facts lead the narrative. Before writing, it is essential to study the market. Platforms like Reddit can be invaluable for understanding what your audience is discussing. You can use specific Google search queries to find relevant threads and identify current trends or pain points. Generating topic ideas need not be difficult. Start by researching active forums to see what questions are being asked, and consistently write down your ideas as they occur. A well-maintained list ensures you never face a blank page without a starting point. To be a truly exceptional writer, one must first be a diligent reader. Pay close attention to the world around you. Inspiration often comes from observing how others communicate and how information is structured in daily life. Precision is key. Your article should focus on a single, well-defined topic. Much like focusing on one specific flower rather than an entire meadow, a narrow scope allows for greater depth and clarity. For those concerned with search engine optimization, I recommend using tools like Google Trends and Answer the Public. These resources help you identify exactly what your target audience is searching for online. Modern technology, such as ChatGPT, can also be a powerful ally during the research phase. It can help you synthesize information, brainstorm angles, and outline the core components of your subject matter. Do not be afraid to contradict common knowledge. If you have a unique perspective or evidence that challenges the status quo, presenting it can make your writing far more engaging and thought-provoking. Aim to contribute something original. Rather than simply repeating what is already available on the market, look for a new angle or an overlooked detail that adds fresh value to the conversation. The title of your article is perhaps its most important element. It is the first thing a reader sees and determines whether they will click through. Spend a significant amount of time refining it to be both accurate and compelling. When formatting, use bold and italics to emphasize key points. However, it is generally advised to avoid underlining text, as it can be confused with hyperlinks in an online context. Large blocks of text can be intimidating. If you find yourself with a dense paragraph, break it into smaller sections and introduce subtitles to guide the reader through the narrative flow. Proper HTML structure is vital for SEO. Use the H1 tag for your main title and H2 for primary subheadings. If further nesting is required, proceed with H3 through H5 to maintain a clear hierarchy of information. We now move into our second section, where we will discuss the structural and stylistic choices that define professional writing. For longer, more complex documents, always include a table of contents at the beginning. This allows readers to navigate directly to the information they need, much like the structured layout seen on Wikipedia. While it depends on the specific audience, numbers often excel. Statistics, data points, or numbered lists can lend authority and concrete evidence to your claims, making them more persuasive. One important rule is to accept that you cannot please everyone. Trying to cater to every possible viewpoint often results in diluted, ineffective content. Focus on serving your specific target audience well. If you are writing on behalf of an organization or an external party, it is crucial to understand and adopt the brand's unique voice. Consistency with their established identity is key to maintaining professional credibility. Furthermore, ensure that the tone of voice remains constant throughout the entire piece. Fluctuating between formal and casual registers can confuse the reader and undermine the authority of the text. Enhance your written word with visual and auditory aids. Figures, tables, and embedded media such as videos or podcasts can provide additional context and make the learning experience more multidimensional. On platforms like WordPress, utilize the quote block to highlight significant statements. This not only breaks up the text visually but also draws the reader's attention to pivotal insights. Simplicity is a virtue in effective writing. Aim to express your ideas in as few words as possible. Eliminating fluff ensures that your message remains sharp and impactful. In a similar vein, strive for brevity in your sentence and paragraph structure. Short, punchy sentences are often more effective at maintaining reader interest than long, convoluted ones. Be mindful of redundancy. Try not to repeat the same points or use the same vocabulary excessively. Each sentence should ideally move the narrative forward or provide new information. A useful technique is to write as you speak. This creates a more natural, conversational flow that feels authentic to the reader, making the content more accessible and engaging. You might wonder if you should include questions within your text. Rhetorical or direct questions can be highly effective in engaging the reader's mind and encouraging them to reflect on the subject matter. Punctuation is a matter of style. Some writers prefer frequent exclamations to convey energy, while others use ellipses to suggest a pause or continuation. Be intentional with these choices to ensure they support your intended tone. Whenever possible, avoid unnecessarily complicated words. If a simpler word carries the same meaning, use it. Clear communication is always preferable to a display of obscure vocabulary. Use the language of your audience. If your readers prefer specific industry terms or a particular dialect, adopting that language will make your writing feel more relevant and relatable to them. Ultimately, your primary goal is to be understood perfectly. Every stylistic choice you make should serve the clarity of the message you are trying to convey. In this third segment, we will delve into techniques for building credibility and creating a deeper connection with your audience. Ambiguity is the enemy of clear communication. Be precise in your assertions to ensure there is no room for misinterpretation by the reader. Abstract concepts are best explained through concrete examples. Providing real-world scenarios helps the reader visualize the information and understand how it applies in practice. Context is everything. If a topic is complex, take the time to build the necessary background so that your audience can follow your logic and appreciate the significance of your points. It is worth noting that keyword density is largely irrelevant for modern SEO. Rather than forcing keywords into every sentence, focus on writing high-quality content that naturally addresses the topic. Accuracy is the foundation of trust. Fact-check your work thoroughly and strive to provide correct information, as errors can quickly damage your reputation as a writer. Remember that an article can serve multiple purposes simultaneously. It can answer questions, provide inspiration, alleviate fears, or even offer a moment of levity through humor. When writing persuasively, such as when marketing a product, move beyond mere specifications. While size and materials are important, it is the benefits and the emotional experience, such as the peace of mind of a long-lasting device, that truly resonate with people. To be truly convincing, use specific evidence rather than vague claims. Instead of saying plenty of memory, specify 32 GB of memory, which holds 5,000 photos. Tangible proof is much more effective than abstract promises. If you wish to truly master a topic, write about it. The process of teaching others through your writing forces you to organize your thoughts and identify any gaps in your own understanding. Generally, it is best to avoid the passive voice. I like the way you have done the presentation is much more direct and engaging than saying the presentation was done well. Active language adds energy to your prose. The use of emoticons and emojis is a matter of debate. While they can add personality and clarify tone in casual contexts, they may be seen as unprofessional in others. Consider your audience before including them. Strengthen your content by linking to related articles, both within your own website and on external sites. This provides additional value to the reader and helps build a broader context for your work. Never write solely for search engines. While SEO is important, your primary focus must always be the human reader. If your visitors enjoy and value your article, search engine rankings will often follow naturally. Consider how you name your sections to facilitate skimming. Instead of a generic "about us," perhaps use more evocative phrases like "who we are" or "what defines us" to catch the reader's interest. Be cautious with metaphors if you expect your readers to skim. While metaphors can be beautiful, they often require more cognitive effort to decode, which can slow down a reader who is looking for quick information. Don't forget to include clear calls to action. Whether you want the reader to visit a website, subscribe to a newsletter, or attend an event, explicitly telling them the next step is crucial for engagement. In our final section, we will look at the finishing touches, editing, formatting, and the long-term journey of a writer. Structure your work appropriately. While not every piece requires a formal conclusion, almost every article benefits from a clear introduction that sets the stage for what is to follow. Showing a degree of vulnerability can make your writing more relatable. Admitting to challenges or lessons learned creates a human connection that the perfect prose often lacks. Whenever the subject matter allows, try to tell a story. Narratives are far more memorable than lists of facts and help to keep the reader emotionally invested in your content. One of the most important habits you can develop is to reread your texts. Fresh eyes will often catch errors, awkward phrasing, or logical leaps that were missed during the initial writing process. A highly effective editing trick is to read your work aloud. If a sentence is difficult to say or sounds unnatural when spoken, it likely needs to be revised for better flow and rhythm. Do not work in a vacuum. Ask for feedback from others. Even a few external opinions can provide invaluable perspective on how your writing is actually being received. If you want to move from a good text to a great one, be prepared to rewrite. The second or third draft is often where the most significant improvements in clarity and style occur. To summarize basic SEO, ensure you have meta titles and descriptions, use alt text for images, maintain a clear heading hierarchy, and ensure your URLs are short and descriptive. These technical details are essential for visibility. From a user experience perspective, ensure your font sizes and colors are legible across all devices. Aim for approximately 50 to 70 characters per line to provide the most comfortable reading experience. Proper spacing is essential for readability. Consider using 50% spacing between lines and 200% spacing between paragraphs to create a breathable layout that doesn't overwhelm the reader. For an added touch of professional design, you might use a drop caps at the start of sections. This is a classic typographic technique that can significantly enhance the visual appeal of your text. Make your article aesthetically pleasing. Incorporating images, clear headings, tables, and strategic use of bold text makes the content more inviting and easier to navigate. Finally, take ownership of your work. Sign your articles and include an author box. This builds your personal brand and allows readers to connect with the person behind the words. Remember that writing is a skill that improves with time. Practice makes perfect, and you will find your voice and efficiency growing with every piece you produce. Regarding comments, whether or not you should engage with them depends on the platform and the nature of the feedback. While constructive dialogue is great, avoid becoming bogged down in unproductive negativity. Once your work is published, do not be afraid to promote it. Sharing your achievements and bragging a bit about your work is necessary to ensure it reaches the audience it deserves. Thank you for your time and attention today. We have reached the end of our session. I hope these tips serve you well in your future writing endeavors. For those interested in the design of this presentation, here are the resources used. We utilized Public Sans for titles and ASAP for headers and body copy, along with a specific color palette to maintain visual consistency. Finally, I would like to credit the various platforms and photographers whose templates and images made this presentation possible. Thank you once again, and goodbye.